Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because there's some crazy stuff going on right now. Of course, this is just absolutely crazy. I'm just going to be completely honest. And of course, this is a very late show, I know, but this was important, and we need to talk about this. Of course, there's been a lot of information flying out the gates revolving around this particular case. And this is just absolutely crazy. All right. But I felt that I needed to hop on here and chop it up with you guys about what just recently happened out in Stockton, California. And I just felt like it wouldn't be right for us to talk about this. So again, we're going to get into this conversation. Obviously, there's a lot of information that we're going to find out as we go, because it's still breaking news. This news is still breaking. Okay. There may be information that we find out in the very beginning that may change over the course of this show. That's just what happens when you break news. Okay. So just want to give you guys that update. So here it is. Please do me a favor, okay? Because this is very important. It helps with the show. And I know it's late, but this is crazy that this happened today. So we've got to talk about it. So hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it to do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all them mugs, okay? So please make sure you hit that follow button on those platforms, okay? Also, right here on my YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. 2 different channels. Go check those out. Subscribe over there as well. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it's really random. Okay? Hit that join button down below. Hit that join button down below. Check out that membership. Support the channel if you can. Hit that join button down below. Check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys? But all right, we got to get into this. This is absolutely crazy, all right? And this is some breaking news that's going on right now as we speak out in Stockton, California. Now, there's been a lot of conversation about where this whole tragedy went down. Obviously, there are reports of this happening at an ice cream shop. There are reports of it happening at a Dairy Queen. There is a lot of information that is flying out the gate, and we're just going to try to get as much information as we can as we are going live covering this particular case. But what is really wild is that what they're reporting is that 4 people have lost their lives right now. That includes children, all right? And upwards of more than just 10 people, from my understanding, have been injured in a mass tragedy out in California during a child's birthday party. Yeah. A child's birthday party, everybody. Now, from what we understand, from what they've been saying, this happened at an ice cream shop during a child's birthday party. So this is the reason why I felt compelled to hop on here with you guys and talking about it. Dropped everything I was doing, came right in here as soon as I found out, okay? Just so you guys can know this information. Because these kinds of cases, these types of tragedies, yes, they happen way too often, but they need to be acknowledged. Because the only way we're going to be able to stop these things from happening is if we actually start talking about these things. Children. A children's birthday party. Like, it's already crazy enough that people are getting attacked. Their children are getting attacked at school. Let's not forget what happened just a few months ago, where an assailant opened fire at a church, inside a church, where all these kids were inside of that church worshiping, going to mass. So those are already crazy enough. But then a birthday party where they're supposed to be celebrating whoever kid's birthday party it was, turning a new year. But instead of them being greeted with ice cream and cake, smiles and presents, and an excitement for their new year, okay, their own personal new year, they're starting off their new year, their own personal new year, with an absolute tragedy. And they also are saying that this is what the reports are saying. Reports are saying that this was also targeted as well. Who wanted to target a children's birthday party? Who has a vendetta against a child so much that they're going to pull up and open fire on children at an ice cream shop during a children's birthday party? Does that make any bloody sense to you? Does it? All right. Now that you guys are all coming in, okay? Yeah, the world, I know you misspelled the word, but yes, the world has gone mad. It is a mad world. And now, I'm at that point right now where it's official. There is no concern or care for life anymore. We're here now. We've hit rock bottom. We've already been hit rock bottom. Okay, so I don't know what's lower than rock bottom, but we are already beyond rock bottom. Now you got kids that have lost their lives. You have kids that are also injured and fighting for their lives in a hospital right now as we speak. And now you got kids that are absolutely traumatized by this situation. And this kind of trauma it feels like this strange, wild, infectious disease, but it's really not. But more and more of our children are getting more and more deeply traumatized by these types of situations where they have a very, very close brush with death, or they know somebody that has had a very close brush with death. When is this going to stop? Like I've said it before, when we talked about what happened with the National Guard, that happened and they're like, we're standing 10 toes down. We're not going to back down. In fact, we're bringing more troops. Well, how about 14 people? Some lost their lives and some are severely injured and some are children. And this all happened at a children's birthday party. When is this going to be the wake-up call to say, hey, enough of this crap is enough? Wasn't Columbine enough? I'm just asking for a friend. All right, guys. So we're going to get into this. Like I said, it's still breaking news, or, it's news that has happened over the past few hours. Okay, guys. I wasn't available, but I wanted to come in here and talk to you guys about it, even if it is a brief show, to talk about this more, because we need to talk about this stuff. All right. And we're going to keep talking about it. If I'm in the area, if I'm able to go live, because these tragedies happen every single day, it seems like. Wasn't there another one that happened yesterday? Black Friday event at a mall? Did it not? Wasn't there a mass tragedy that happened? 2 people lost their lives, I think, yesterday at a mall? Right? So again, like I said, Unfortunately, these hits just keep on coming. Something's got to change. Let's take a look at this. So, as I said, 4 have lost their lives, okay? 10 injured in this mass tragedy in California, Stockton, California. This happened at a child's birthday party, and this is what the officials are saying. So, several people were injured in a mass tragedy in California at a child's birthday party, officials said Saturday night. So, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office says this tragedy happened around 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time inside a strip mall shopping center in Stockton, California. So the city of Stockton's Vice Mayor, Jason Lee, posted on Facebook saying that this tragedy happened at an ice cream shop during a child's birthday party. An ice cream shop. The number one place you would, not even the last place you'd ever think something like this would ever happen. And it happened. Are these guys at this point, are these monsters now just going like, we got to figure out something more creative than the church, than a school, and then a mall? You know what I mean? We ain't done what's a place that we haven't done a mass tragedy yet at? And then somebody goes, Eureka, bro, an ice cream shop. And they're like, yeah, great idea. That's what it's at. We're at this point now. They're already doing these kind of mass tragedies of funerals, graduation parties. And we already know the number one kicker, the number one with the bullet: high schools, elementary schools, schools in general, malls. Now we got Christmas tree lighting events. Like, I feel like they're so diabolical. They're trying to figure out what is the most unique place we can go and do these kind of tragedies at. And now they found a new one. Here we go. An ice cream shop. A mother-loving, if I'm correct, a mother-loving Dairy Queen, y'all. A Dairy Queen. Deputies confirmed that approximately 14 individuals were struck by gunfire and 4 victims have been confirmed deceased. Officials said the area remains an active scene and investigators are working to gather additional information. There is no word on a possible suspect because right now that suspect is out on the lam, y'all. Just a quick wake-up call. Again, you can't even go to an ice cream shop, or because I know some people are like, oh, there's a banquet hall there as well. Like that there was a banquet hall and maybe that's where it all went down. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What happened during a time that children should be playing, having a good time and having nothing but smiles on their faces and having cake and ice cream smeared all over their faces, right? And getting their sugar high. That's it. That's it, guys. It shouldn't be anything. It should only just be fun and smiles. And yeah, sure, one having, maybe having a temper tantrum because they didn't get what they wanted or something like that. That happens. Kids gonna be kids. Okay? But at the same time, diggity damn, y'all. Take a look at this. This is from the vice mayor, okay, confirming this situation, this tragedy happening at this schools or at this children's birthday party. So tonight, this is from Jason Lee, the vice mayor of Stockton, California. Says, tonight, my heart is heavy in a way that's hard to put into words. As vice mayor of Stockton and as someone who grew up in this community, I am devastated and angry to learn about this mass tragedy at a child's birthday party. An ice cream shop should never be a place where families fear for their lives. Violence touched my life as a young person, and seeing our children, parents, and neighbors go through this shakes me deeply. Stockton is my home. These are our families. This is our community. I'm in contact with staff and public safety officials to understand exactly what happened, and I will be pushing for answers. Our community deserves to know the truth, and the families impacted deserve justice and every resource available to support them. I agree. Tonight, I am sending my thoughts, prayers, and love to families who are hurting, to the children who witnessed this trauma, and to everyone across our city who feels this pain. Please, God, uplift our community. We don't deserve this, and we will not accept this as our norm. And we shouldn't be, accepting this as our norm. But you want to know something that really just grinds my gears that I'm really tired of hearing or seeing written in black and white is this phrase: I'm sending my thoughts and prayers. Aren't you tired of hearing that too? Because I feel like we hear that a lot nowadays. At least 4 or 5 different times a week, we're hearing something about thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. At some point, something's got to give. At some point, these thoughts and prayers are for the birds. And I don't mean what the vice mayor is saying is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I say thoughts and prayers. We all say thoughts and prayers, but we have to do something to stop this stuff from happening all the time. I'm getting tired of this. And now we got our kids involved with this kind of situation. This is getting ridiculous, y'all. Like I said, don't get me wrong. Thoughts and prayers is the right thing to say. But then there's that other side of you that's like, yo, when are we going to realize that the words, thoughts and prayers are now just becoming something that you say by rote? There is no emotion behind it anymore. Now there needs to be something done. There needs to be proactivity now. This kind of chaos needs to stop. How do we do it? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. Let's take a look at this. This is insane. All right. Let me just make sure it's not too loud. Let's rock and roll. Oh, there's no sound, it looks like. Okay. But this is the area where this whole thing went down. I mean, what's interesting is that there's not, we're going to be looking at a couple things, but, of course, we're trying to get as much information as we can. I mean, of course, there's going to be bits and pieces, flying all over the place with people just getting images, videos, etc., from various angles. But like I said, I mean, there was a whole situation that happened in Santa Clara. Yeah, yesterday, Black Friday shopping turned into a mass tragedy as well. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I mean, there's some footage I can't show you, okay? Just so you know, there is some footage on X that's just flooding flying like crazy, showing, a 12-year-old undergoing CPR on the scene, okay? As first responders are actually trying to handle multiple critical victims. All right. This is pretty insane. Okay. But hold tight, guys. Hold tight. Numerous emergency crews are on the scene, and this was about 2 hours ago, of a major mass tragedy, of course, at this birthday party, as multiple children were actually hit with fatalities. At this time, numerous emergency crews and law enforcement agencies are on the scene in Stockton, California, to a major mass tragedy. At least 19. This is what Raw Alerts is saying. Let me show this to you guys too. It says, let's see, at least 19 people have been struck by gunfire, including children as young as 9 and 12, a 23-year-old, and several additional adults. Officials have confirmed that at least 4 fatalities though they caution the toll may climb as more information comes in. Multiple children are receiving CPR. The incident reportedly unfolded near a birthday party where families and children had gathered moments before this tragedy. Okay, before this tragedy began. Witnesses described scenes of chaos as people ran for cover while first responders rushed to treat the wounded. The assailant remains on the run still to this moment right now. That person is out on a lam still right now. Okay. And authorities are actively searching the surrounding neighborhoods. Police are urging residents to avoid the area. This is still all developing as we speak. Again, y'all, this is all pretty insane. Hold on one second, guys. Because we do have a press conference that just happened about 30 minutes ago. Right when I was about to go live, the press conference happened. We are going to look at that in just a little bit. But yeah, let me just look at something here really quick. Oops. Yeah, and then apparently there's another update coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so. There's a press conference that I'm going to share with you guys here in just a second as well. But there's a lot to look at. So let's take a look at this first. Take a look at this. You guys aren't getting the sound? What? Hold on. Hold on. What? That's insane. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. I wonder why that's doing that. Hold on. Let me fix something. Hopefully it's... That's strange. Hold on. Let me try this again. StreamYard's tripping. Let's try this again. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this, okay?
Of this breaking news with ABC 10's Roxanne Elias, we are learning the governor's Office of Emergency Services is monitoring this evolving situation and
can you guys hear that?
Coordinating with local law enforcement. So here's a recap of what we know at this hour. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office is saying this happened shortly before 6 p.m. Their dispatch center got reports of a shooting that occurred at the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. This is in Stockton. They can confirm 14 people were struck by gunfire and 4 victims have since been confirmed deceased. This is an active investigation. They're working to get information on who this suspect or suspects might be. There's no indication that they have any leads at this time. They say this is all under investigation. And as you just heard, the FBI also involved and the governor also tweeting about this. The governor saying that they are looking at this and that I can read it to you here. The governor's press office saying that Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the horrific shooting in Stockton. The governor's Office of Emergency Services is monitoring the evolving situation and coordinating with local law enforcement. So again, this is an early indication of what's happening here that suggests that this may be a targeted incident. Investigators are exploring all possibilities here, but you just heard them make a call out to the public. They are wanting anyone who may have seen anything, surveillance, photos, videos, a vehicle description, a person description. They are asking people to come to them. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office leading that investigation there. They did have help at the scene because it's a very active scene still. Manteca PD and Stockton PD and the FBI also assisting with that. We're going to continue.
So again, they're saying that they believe this being a targeted event, meaning that this assailant or assailants went over to this particular party and opened fire on this party. Why would they target this entire party? That just doesn't make any, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. But again, evil doesn't make sense. I'm going to be real. At this point, in this world, at this time, we live in a world where it just nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing makes sense. Let me take a look at this.
Yeah, Nazi, we were first on scene just less than 20 minutes after this terrifying situation unfolded. Originally, we were at the Dairy Queen parking lot here, the Thornton Plaza Shopping Center, and that's where we had a huge amount of law enforcement there. It was a frantic scene, dozens of fire crews, even several minutes after it all happened, and just swarms of officers. I was there, as well as family members started showing up, and they were sobbing. You could just feel the sadness in the air. Of course, at that point, we didn't have much information. Now we do have more than what we knew at that point. But people were asking where their children were. They said that there was an event going on nearby. That's what we have confirmed now. But again, a lot of distraught family members, people sobbing as well as it came and arrived here at the scene, and it's still been active ever since then. Those family members were too distraught to talk with us on camera, understandably going through all of this. But we did speak with someone who lives in the area, a neighbor. Take a listen to what he heard and saw.
There was 3 sets of gunfire. The first set there was a lot of rounds. I'm not sure exactly how many, and then they sounded kind of fireworky, and so I wasn't really too concerned about it. But then the next 2 sets came. Gunfire came probably maybe a minute later, and then all of a sudden there was all these police were here.
Yeah, it all happened so quickly. That's what we're hearing from so many people who have been out here today. We did get a statement from Vice Mayor Jason Lee. You'll see it on your screen here. It reads in part, quote, "Tonight, my heart is heavy in a way that's hard to put into words. As Vice Mayor of Stockton and as someone who grew up in this community, I am devastated and angry to learn about the mass shooting at a child's birthday party. An ice cream shop should never be the place for families to fear their lives." And again, that was from Vice Mayor Jason Lee. That statement just came in a moment ago into our newsroom.
I mean, of course, the mayor, the vice mayor said that, but of course there has been reports that we're going to look at here real quick before we go into the press conference. The first, I'm sure, of many press conferences that they're going to have, but we're now hearing that this happened at a banquet hall near a Dairy Queen. Okay, so this was close to a Dairy Queen. It wasn't at the Dairy Queen. Okay, but still doesn't matter. No matter what, the fact that this happened at a banquet hall in this strip mall near a Dairy Queen during a child's birthday party is absolutely insane. That's it. Okay, and we don't know, like, this may be we don't know what this was, why they say, even in this title, they say that this was a targeted attack. Now, there may be some sort of this may be gang related. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just somebody who wanted to go after that particular party for some strange reason, right? We don't know. I know everybody's going to have that knee-jerk reaction of, oh, it must be gang related. You never know. Might not be. Just maybe a psychotic. Okay? Just might be a psycho. You never know. So let's just table our predictions to the side for a little bit until we actually find out what's going on, right? But 4 people, of course, we already know has lost their life. 10 people are injured, okay? And this is where apparently this whole thing happened at a banquet hall. At a banquet hall. Okay? Straight up. At a banquet hall. So the incident happened close to a Dairy Queen, okay, at a children's birthday party on Saturday night. So the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Heather Brent called the incident unfathomable and said early indications suggest this may be a targeted incident. So this assailant they're saying that it's only one person, but it could be two. Okay. It could be more than just one person, but they say that this particular assailant is still at large. He is still out here, like literally on, out here breathing in this freedom air. You never know. Our number one priority is identifying a suspect. This is a very active and ongoing investigation. Information remains very limited at this time. She said that the victims' age range from children to adults, but did not provide specifics. Injured victims have been transported to the area's hospitals. Gavin Newsom, Gavin Newsom, says has been briefed on this incident. His press office tweeted tonight, the governor's Office of Emergency Services is monitoring this evolving situation and coordinating, with local law enforcement. Video shared to the Citizen app and social media show a large response from emergency services near the Dairy Queen. Police tape sealed off the area around the fast food outlet. So this happened at a banquet hall near a Dairy Queen, okay? Just so you guys know, since we're hearing that officially here. But I want to play the press conference. It's brief. It is a very short press conference because honestly, let's be real. There's not a whole lot they can say right now. There's not a whole lot they can really say right now. They don't have all the answers yet. You feel me? This is all still ongoing. This is still developing. And this is obviously absolutely insane. All right. But they still are trying to figure out what's going on here. Right. So let's hear what they got to say here. Let's rock and roll.
Approach led by the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and with other agencies that are involved, including Stockton Police Department, California Highway Patrol, and the Department of Justice. So our understanding at this time that the individual responsible is still outstanding. If you have any information as to this individual, reach out immediately. And if you are this individual, turn yourself in immediately. My office is also working very, very hard with all the other agencies providing support, including my investigation unit, my chief of homicide, and my victim witness advocates that are providing assistance to the families and their victims. Also, when this individual is caught, you have my promise that you will have the full force of my office's resources in holding this individual fully accountable. Let this ring perfectly clear. In this community in San Joaquin County, violence of this nature has absolutely no place at any time, shape, or form, and children should not be harmed by gun and gang violence. Here.
Thank you. This is Thanksgiving weekend. This is when families come together, celebrate, share memories, give each other love. And unfortunately tonight, heaven is a little bigger with the individuals, children and adults that unfortunately did not make it. Stockton is better than this. Whoever did this, if you know them, as the district attorney just said, please call Crime Stoppers. You can leave an anonymous tip. We've got work to do, and this type of violence, again, our city is better than that. 2014, I remember the Madison Market shooting. 7 people were gunned down right across from the school district. Unacceptable. And what happened tonight? Again, unacceptable. Families should be together instead of at the hospital, standing next to their loved one, praying that they survive. So again, wish we had better news for you, wish we could tell you more. As soon as that information becomes available, we will make sure that you get it. Thank you.
Thank you. That is all.
That's it. And that's all she wrote.
Favor, we're going to be pushing back the crime scene. If you guys could be over at the ARCO, please.
The furthest, so ARCO is the south portion. The north is going to be the quick stop area. So obviously, I think a lot of you parked here. So it's all going to be close for an extended period of time. So north is the quick stop, and then south will be ARCO.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
We got more. This is just so. This is all just wild. And again, like I said, at this point, we should be used to this crap, right? But this kind of stuff never gets easier. Definitely does not.
Banquet hall, some type of family gathering. And right now, police say the suspect is on the run. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of ABC 10 News. I'm Nazi Javid, and we'll get you straight to this breaking news. We have several crews out at the scene of this shooting working to get more details and information for us. And we're going to start you off this morning with our team coverage. We have Gabriel Porras, ABC 10's Gabriel Porras, who arrived just minutes after the initial call, and ABC 10's Roxanne Elias and Roxanne police telling us that their number one priority is identifying and finding that suspect. Tell us, what are you learning at this hour?
That is the number one priority right now, Nazi. We are actually standing right in front of Lucille Avenue, where there are multiple deputies investigating this shooting. I want to get right to it. I want to let you guys hear from the San Joaquin Sheriff's Office spokesperson, Heather Brent. Heather, what can you tell us about this situation?
I can tell you that a call came in shortly before 6 p.m. of a possible shooting. It was at a family gathering, a banquet hall here off of Lucille Avenue. We can confirm right now that there are 14 victims. 4 of those victims, unfortunately, are deceased.
What can you tell us about the victims? Any age range? Are all of these people involved? Are they family members?
All of that information is being gathered right now. As far as family members, what we're being told is that it was a family gathering. So I can expect that it probably was family members, involved in all of this.
What can you tell us that led up to this shooting?
As far as leading up, that is all under investigation. Right now, preliminary investigation suggests that this is a targeted incident. We do not believe that there is any harm to our surrounding area.
I do want to say that there is a lot of people, a lot of information going on right now about, I don't know, muddy boys, like certain gangs, that kind of thing. I don't know. The fact that they say that this is a targeted event, this is a targeted situation. Yes, of course there is that question of, could this have been a gang related situation? That may have been the situation. It may not have been the situation, but there's a lot of people saying things on the internet right now about certain gangs, that this whole thing definitely revolved around 2 specific gangs. Okay. And then, of course, this whole thing happened. And apparently, allegedly, a gang member's daughter was having a birthday party. So again, this is what they're saying right now, but there's no I haven't seen any proof of that. You see what I'm saying? I need to hear that from like actual solid news, media outlets or something. You know what I mean? Not just the internet. Because remember, we've heard all kinds of crazy stuff. Remember when the whole tragedy that happened with the 2 National Guardsmen? People were out here saying that the person was a crazy left, crazy Democrat, and was, probably trans and all this stuff. They were saying all kinds of crazy stuff. They always try to make the narrative be something, okay, that it's not, right? So again, we have to make sure when The whole situation that happened in New York City. Remember the guy who walked in? He went into Black Bear, I think, or Blackstone or Black Bear. I don't remember. But that building where the NFL and Black Bear was in, and he opened fire, and everyone was sitting there going, "Oh yeah, he's probably just some trans, illegal immigrant, white male." There was all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on, right? And of course, he came out to be black, right? So again, before we start assuming certain things, Blackstone, thank you so much. Before we start just throwing out all these things, let's see the proof first, right? Because everyone gets really sloppy with all the speculations and stuff. All right, let's hear what they got so far. But yes, targeted does sound like something, right? But that could mean two different things. Could very well mean yes, this was a targeted gang related type of thing, or it could very well have been somebody like a disgruntled ex. It could be, a family member that was angry at somebody. It could be anything, right? As far as when they say targeted, right? But let's move forward.
But that it is a targeted incident.
What do we know about the suspect, multiple suspects that may be involved in this shooting?
That is under investigation at this time.
Can you kind of tell us where we're at right now in direction to where that hall is, just so that people kind of have an understanding of where that shooting may have taken place?
Thornton Avenue and the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. Thornton Road and Lucille Avenue. It's a family banquet hall that's there that they were at a family get together.
What is the number one ask right now from your community as we sit here and know that 14 people were injured in this shooting?
You have several businesses around this area. Ideally, there's going to be some type of surveillance. If you have surveillance video, if you were in the area and you saw something, whether it's a vehicle description, whether it's a suspect description, or you saw the incident, please contact the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Our number one priority is finding the person who's responsible for this and holding them accountable.
And is there any description at this point that we know of that suspect?
That is all information that's being gathered right now.
And Heather, right now, as we sit here, this is a very tragic incident. What can you say as far as what, deputies are going through? I saw, police is out here as well. How does this feel for you guys having to see this happen in your community?
Pray for our guys. We have the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office out here. Obviously, we're leading this. We have other agencies who stepped in without hesitation to help us with this. It's a very tragic incident. There's a lot of moving pieces right now, from victims who need to be transported to local hospitals, from our investigations trying to gather all the information, our deputies. Again, other agencies, just pray for our guys right now. This is an unfathomable incident.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing, Heather. Anything else to add?
We need to find the suspect and we need to hold them accountable.
Thank you, Heather.
Heather, do you believe it's a single?
As you've heard there, Heather says the number one priority is finding the suspect or suspects involved. Now, the street on Thornton.
The way it sounded, the way that she said, it sounded like they may have returned fire. Like what we heard from that witness as well, basically saying that it was like a lot of pops, a lot of sound, like a lot of gunshots, being heard. It sounded like a bunch of firecrackers going off, that kind of thing. It could have been an exchange of fire, right? It could have been an exchange of gunfire. That's possible as well, right? But this is absolutely crazy. But we're going to continue on because, of course, there's more. But yeah, this is just insane. Give me 1 second, guys. Just insane.
All right, so I'm public Public Information Officer with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. My name is Heather Brent. Limited information that I can provide at this time. I'm going to refer to my notes though. Shortly before 6:00 p.m. tonight, our dispatch received reports of possible gunshots near the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. What we have confirmed at this time is that there was a banquet hall where a family was celebrating. We have 14 victims of this shooting. 4 of those are deceased. The victims have been transported to local hospitals throughout the area. This is a very active and ongoing investigation. Information remains very limited at this time. Early indications suggest that this may be a targeted incident. Investigators are exploring all possibilities at this time. Detectives are working diligently to determine the circumstances leading up to this incident. We are urging anyone with information, whether it's videotape, surveillance, maybe you're in the area and you saw something, to please contact the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Our number one priority right now is identifying the suspect in this incident. We're very grateful for our local law enforcement agencies. We have called out several agencies to come in and assist, including Manteca Police Department, Stockton PD. We've got the District Attorney's Office. We have the FBI. Again, our number one priority is ensuring that we find that suspect and hold them accountable. Ages range from juvenile to adult. I don't have specific ages that I can release at this time. That's under investigation at this time.
Were the victims inside or outside of the venue?
To my understanding, and again, I'll correct this if needed, but to my understanding that the victims were inside of the banquet hall.
Wow. Huh.
I'll have to provide that at a later time. To my understanding, it was a family gathering. That's information that's coming in at this time. I do not have that to confirm.
Where's the suspect?
We are working to locate the suspect at this time.
Is there any reason to believe that it's more than one person?
That's information that we'll have to confirm at a later time.
Were any firearms covered at the scene?
I don't have that information for you at this time.
Of the vehicle, the investigation on the closet.
We will not be releasing that information at this time. Everything is under investigation.
Are you able to share which direction the banquet hall is in, if it's further down Portland or on Lucille?
So behind us, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a Dairy Queen. Inside that parking area, there is a banquet hall.
Huh.
It's further down.
City or county?
County. The sheriff's office is handling this investigation at this time.
Was the shooter outside when the shots were fired?
Specific information is all under investigation at this time.
I mean, come on, man. You could like tell us what's going. Like, did this happen inside? Did this happen outside? Did this happen inside and outside? Did the guy go inside the banquet hall and then open fire, and then the firefight led out to outside? You see what I'm saying? Like, what actually is going on here? Can we just get straight to the point here? And you know, I get that a lot of this is still ongoing and they got to look into stuff and get all the information that they need and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, diggity damn, just tell us what's going on here so we can get a better idea of what actually happened here. Because there's video out here that's circulating all throughout X right now that I've seen multitude of times. So it's getting shared a lot. But you're seeing police officers literally performing CPR on people right there outside. They're on the ground in the middle of the street, just doing CPR on these people, right? So I can't show you guys those images, but at the same time, it's like, okay, what did it happen inside? And then they dragged these people out and started doing CPR on these people right outside the banquet hall? Or did this whole thing, this whole mess happened, you know what I'm saying, like inside and outside, right? But again, like I said, the suspect or the suspects is still out on the lam. They are still on the loose right now, okay? They're still on the mother-loving loose, which is also insane. But give me a second, guys. So of course, as we continue, can you guys please do me a favor? I'm here late, late at night on a Saturday night, giving you guys this information. Can you please hit that like, please, and thank you. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So subscribe, of course. Don't forget to do that. All right. She did mention one suspect. Yes, she did. But at the same time, she mentioned one suspect. Sure, she did. And it could very well have been just one subject or suspect. I'm sorry. It could. But the way that people are talking out here in these streets, out on the internet, we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna look into it. Okay? Because it could very well be 110% correct, or it could be a fugazi. It could be fake news. I don't know, but we're going to look at the options. We're going to look at these options here really quick. Okay. Actually, let me do this here real quick first. Yeah. Because they're saying that this is all, hold on. I'm trying to pick and choose as best as I can here. So, of course, the gang-related stuff is what a lot of people are talking about right now. Okay, a lot of people are talking about the Muddy Boys and another group. So again, FBI now is investigating rapper MB Nell. Okay, apparently he was in attendance at his cousin daughter's birthday party. All right, Nano, in Stockton, California. They believe it was targeted gang hit by two males. This is just a tweet right now by two males that are still on the run right now as we speak. So there's that. Now, don't know how credible this is or not, but this is who is in attendance allegedly at this Stockton shooting. The faster we get, well, I'm not going to read all that. Okay. I'm not reading that crap. But again, very, very interesting stuff here. Okay. So let's see. Before I realized the rapper may have been in attendance, I knew this was gang related, but street chatter is rapper MB Nell was there with his family and friends. There were a lot of adults here partying. But like I said, this is just people saying this information. There isn't much information saying like, yes, like I said, the news isn't out here saying, oh, this is definitely 110% correct, right? That, oh, this was gang related. Therefore, these two guys or this one assailant is out on the lam, is out on the loose. We need to go and get this person, blah, 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 right? I don't know, right? I don't know. But when they say targeted, yep, it's fair to assume that it could very well be a gang-related situation. But it is pretty insane to me that these assailants would actually go to an event like a children's birthday party and try to ice their enemy and other people as well at a children's birthday party. That's insane. You couldn't wait to just go to I don't know. It seems so strange to me, right? Just so strange to me. And like I said, the reports here, you got to remember, X is insane. X will say all kinds of stuff, all right? All kinds of stuff that's not true. And then we'll find out more information like later. You see what I'm saying? But it does. I agree. Classic. I agree. It does sound very personal. Okay. But the fact that this guy walked into a banquet hall for a child's birthday party is just insane. Whether or not this was gang related or not, that's just freaking insane, y'all. That is another level. That is a new low. Okay. So, of course, there's, like I said, a lot of people are talking about this rapper MB Nell. All right, was reportedly at the party for a family member. He was arrested in a massive gang bust in 2020 as part of the Asian Crips. I mean, but like I said, these are just pieces of information that people are putting out here. We don't know if that's entirely true. Like I said, you remember, when they're trying to find out something, right? When they're trying to find that assailant, people will come out with all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, it was this guy. And it's like, it wasn't even remotely the guy at all. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, you never know. The streets are already talking. I'm sure they're talking about this, and this could very well be 110% correct, or it could just be straight up fake news. But reportedly, again, more and more people are still just saying that the rapper MB Nell was at this event, was at this party, okay, where all this went down. So yeah, I mean, that's what they have right now. But again, we'll see how much of that is true in time. Let's take a look.
Is breaking news.
Take a look at this.
From CBS 13.
And thanks for joining us here on CBS 13 right before 8 o'clock tonight. We do have some breaking news that we want to share with you right now. This is happening in Stockton. We have very little information at this point, but we do know that several people have been taken to the hospital after a shooting. Again, this is in Stockton. We know the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office is at the scene right now. You can see a heavy police presence there. This is right off of Lucille Avenue in Stockton, right near the 1900 block. Again, we're hearing about several victims because of a shooting in Stockton, but we are working to get some more details. We do have multiple crews out on the scene right now. If we can get to our photojournalist, Sean Halverson, he has been on the scene. He has been in that area, hopefully talking with some of the authorities out there, although I know that it's slow going right now as they try to piece together exactly what's happening. Do we have Sean for us right now? Hi, Sean. What can you tell us?
Well, this happened a little over an hour ago. Police came by and told me this was a mass shooting, which means there was 3 or more people shot. They wouldn't confirm any kind of fatalities or anything, but apparently there was people up Lucille Avenue. I think they were running around after the shooting happened. Police were searching the buildings to make sure there's no other additional victims. But right now, police just have Thornton Road at Lucille totally shut down. This is a multi-jurisdiction case because one side is Stockton and one side is San Joaquin County. So right now we're currently waiting for the sheriffs to tell us what's going on. They've called in every additional unit they possibly can. UOP police is out here. There's CHPs out here, police, Stockton police and sheriff are out here. But as of right now, we don't exactly know if there's been any victims, any fatalities out here.
Right. So we do have so much more information to gather on this one as we're hearing multiple agencies out there. UOP, you've said, San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, Stockton Police as well. I'm trying to get an idea
CHP.
of what this area looks like. CHP is out there. I'm trying to get an idea of what this area looks like right now. It looks like it's a residential area. Have you heard from any of the people that we've seen walking around there? Was there a house party or anything else that we know of that was going on in that area?
I would only be speculating it looked like a house party, but I can't tell. I don't know. But there's people on the other side of the road, and we can't get over there right now. We've seen nobody that around here. I haven't seen anybody that heard anything or saw anything. Just a bunch of people looky-loos out here right now.
So Lucille Avenue, this is right in the 1900 block in Stockton right now. That area, it looks like it's all just houses in that area.
There's houses. There's businesses all around here. There's like if you see up here, there's a Dairy Queen.
There we
There's
go.
a pizza place up here. There's a 7-Eleven across the street. Yeah, this is residential and businesses out here.
Okay, so a pretty busy area then, because if you've got those businesses right there,
yes.
we could see that there were people walking up and down that area, obviously not just neighbors, because they could have been going to those businesses that are right there as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there was people running to these businesses when the shooting happened too. So police were searching for extra victims in some of these businesses out here. I believe there's a pizza place up there.
Continue, Sean.
I believe there's a strip mall right over here, and there's a a bunch of different businesses in there, pizza place and whatnot. As you can see here, there's some people that were out here. I believe they were probably at the location where it happened at, but I'm not sure. They've been out here the entire time. They're across the street from us. We can't get over to their area.
And I was just hearing from our producer as well, Sean, that Vice Mayor Jason Lee had spoken a short time ago saying that this had happened at an ice cream shop in that area, possibly related to a birthday party that was even going on there. It seems to be, it would have been a crowded birthday party to have this many people now taken to the hospital as well.
And down Lucille, I believe, is just residential, but that seems to be the area that they're focused on the most right now.
So then I'm wondering if this was a
Dairy Queen
spillover.
right there, so I don't know.
Right.
It's possible. It's very possible.
And go ahead and list off again the agencies that you've seen out there as well. That's a heavy police presence that we have there, and this entire area blocked off.
There's San Joaquin County Sheriff's out here. UOP police, I heard, were called in. I think I see Stockton Unified School District Police, CHP, San Joaquin County Sheriffs. I believe San Joaquin County Sheriffs are handling the this call, actually, because I think it might have happened in the county. We're waiting for the PIO to talk to us momentarily to tell us what happened out here.
And can you give us an idea of the perimeter that they've had set up there as well? Because, of course, from my vantage point, we're just seeing that area right there that's blocked off. But do we know how wide this goes, that they've blocked off this area, just to give people at home an idea if they're out and about in that area, not to go to this specific spot?
Yeah, avoid Thornton Road. I can't read the other street, but near Lucille. It's like both blocks before Lucille are blocked off, so you can't get down Thornton at all. When I was walking over, some people were trying to get home and they couldn't get home because they can't go down Thornton.
Yeah, so that would be concerning too, just to make sure that everybody stays back in that area. So you were hoping to speak with a PIO shortly. Which agency? It looks like
Pretty soon,
might be even heading over now.
San Joaquin County Sheriffs are going to talk to us.
Okay, so hopefully we'll learn a lot more from that now as we check into. Sean, thank you so much for that information. At this point, we're all just sort of grasping at straws, trying to get some more information as to exactly what happened out here. The Vice Mayor, Jason Lee from Stockton, notifying people just a short time ago that this stemmed from an ice cream shop, some sort of altercation there, from a birthday party that was going on, a shooting, and then several people taken to the hospital. Again, this is in Stockton, right off of Lucille Avenue by Thornton. So that entire area in that Stockton area is blocked off right now. As you can see, multiple agencies on scene. We've got CHP, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, Stockton Police as well. And as we take a look down the street there, you can see this is not just a residential area. Right along the street there, a pretty busy stretch here with several businesses. We've got the Dairy Queen there, several businesses with people that have been walking up and down the street. But again, at this point, we're not exactly sure what led up to this shooting. Police calling it a mass shooting at this point, which that involves 3 or more victims. And so we know that several have been taken to the hospital at this point. I know we have another crew out there. I'm not sure if we can see another vantage point of this area. We were just speaking with photojournalist Sean Halverson, but we do have another crew there as well. We also have Madison Keevy and Kayla Moeller will be heading to those scenes as well to bring us some live reports throughout the evening. But you can see this wide stretch of area that is blocked off right now in Stockton. Again, this is right near Thornton and Lucille Avenue. It's in the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. We know that this happened about how long ago, Brenna, did this actually happen? 6 o'clock. So we're talking 2 hours now after the shooting took place that you could see this large scene that's still out there right now with a heavy police presence as they try to map out and figure out exactly what led to this. Again, a mass shooting is what they're calling this in Stockton right now, with several agencies investigating, several people taken to the hospital. They call this a mass shooting only if it's 3 victims or more. So that's why they're calling it a mass shooting at this point. But we do not know anything about suspects. So that's going to be the big question as the night goes on, exactly to find out if there's one suspect or more than that. Again, though, we do know several victims. Still trying to figure out their conditions at this point now, but you can see the scene is still very active. And we're also hearing that the Stockton Unified School District was out there as well, Brenna. Is that what Sean was saying too? So we even have multiple agencies stretching into the Stockton Unified School District out there as well, trying to figure out. Vice Mayor Jason Lee stating that this stemmed from a birthday party, a large party at an ice cream shop. Now, the only ice cream shop that I've been able to make out as we've panned through this area is at Dairy Queen right now. But again, we're still trying to narrow down exactly how this led up to a mass shooting. Of course, we're going to have much more for you tonight on the CBS.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is kind of old news. I mean, of course, there's more information that we already know now, but this is, just crazy. Michelle Woods, thank you so much for the love. Trump's going to use this to fan the flames again. With California, yeah. I mean, you got the thing that happened in, I forgot, but it happened yesterday, right? At the mall. Black Friday tragedy. 2 people were injured, right? In that situation. You have this situation that happens. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is sitting there going like, Gavin Newsom can't do anything, and try to use that as an excuse, right? That is possible. Yeah, it was like Santa Clara. It's like, I think it was Santa Clara that happened just the other day, right? Yeah, if you guys can get those likes up, that would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to see it get to like 800 likes. That'd be awesome, all right? If you can get to, that would be dope as hell. If you can get it to 800 likes, that would really mean the world to me. But of course, yes, I do think that, yeah, Trump will use these situations and basically try to rub, Gavin Newsom's face in it. But these tragedies happen every single day, right? We're hearing these mass shootings and these mass tragedies all the time. It doesn't change. When is it going to change? We need to there's got to be something done instead of us just standing here and just letting it continue to happen. And it's been happening for decades and nothing is changing. Like I said, I don't have the solution, but I do have the passion. I have enough passion to sit here and say something's got to change, and something's got to change very soon. Because again, this is our kids we're talking about now too. You know what I mean? It's our kids, our future, all that.
Starts now.
They're advising 12 people have been shot.
We're doing CPR on one possible 12-year-old.
We have a 9-year-old that was shot.
We're following breaking news out of Stockton, where just a few hours ago, a mass shooting at a child's birthday party left 4 people dead and 10 additional people injured with gunshot wounds. This is on the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue near Thornton Road. That's also near the Thornton Market and Liquor Store. Thank you for joining us for Fox 40 News at 10. I'm Dennis Shanahan. We have live team coverage with Fox 40's Chloe Curtis at the scene gathering reaction. And we begin with Fox 40's Sierra Krug, who attended a news conference tonight. Sierra, what can you share with us?
Well, Dennis, throughout the night, there have been multiple news conferences, actually. People weighing in, people walking around Stockton even have said they're still trying to wrap their heads around everything that happened here tonight. The San Joaquin Sheriff's Office also says their primary focus right now is figuring out who and where that suspect is. The media asked how many suspects there are or if they can give us any information at this time about that suspect. They said right now there are still many unanswered questions. I am still here. I will say the crime scene seems to extend for blocks here, but you can't see it behind me. There's a big Dairy Queen, and that is right where this banquet hall was. That's where we know this whole thing started. Take a look at that scene here. It's still massive, like I said, but police cars are stationed along several streets stretching along Lucille Avenue. Officials confirmed this all happened, like I said, at a banquet hall during a family celebration. We don't know the nature of that celebration right now, but they do not know how many weapons were involved either. They have confirmed 14 people were shot and 4 people have died. They say they are investigating every possible reason this could have happened, but at this point, they have reason to believe this was a targeted attack. Here's San Joaquin Sheriff's Rep Heather Brent with a message to the community.
It is unfathomable that there are young children who are harmed, that there is anybody who is harmed in this, and our hearts go out to those victims, to their families, and to our community.
we're still waiting on updates of those remaining 10 victims. We're told they are in hospitals with their family surrounding them. Just a heartbreaking scene all around. And again, lots of unanswered questions about them.
I mean, and they say that there's still a good possibility that the numbers could go up, that it could be more than just 4 people that lost their lives. I mean, we don't have the full answer of that yet, but at the same time, this is terrible, y'all. Again, you got kids that are either hurt or gone. Okay.
That suspect and, of course, those victims. Dennis.
Sierra, thank you. And we continue our team coverage with Fox 40's Chloe Curtis, who is live also at the scene with more on the scope of this investigation and what local leaders are saying. Chloe, what are you hearing?
Dennis, horrific, unfathomable, and tragic are just some of the words that we're hearing from the community tonight as this investigation continues, with several victims still in the hospital tonight and 4 people, as we know, that died. Now, this investigation is still here tonight, and like overnight and into the morning, at least, we know that this shooting is being investigated at a banquet hall tucked behind many of the businesses here along this strip. And this is now bringing together several agencies from across our region that are going to be with this. San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation tonight, but several other agencies will also be playing a part trying to collect this. And to really help you visualize the scene that we are talking about right now, I want to show you some drone footage that our photojournalist Dan Franz collected just about 30 minutes or so ago, showing the size of this scene. And that is bringing together, as I mentioned, several agencies, including Stockton PD, Manteca PD, the DA's office, and the FBI now each have a role in trying to piece together what exactly unfolded here tonight. And this investigation is going to be about much more than just the size of this scene. Of course, they have a lot of questions to answer. That's going to involve talking to several victims and is trying to review as much security footage in this area as possible. And police are still staged at pretty much every single corner around this area tonight, and likely will be overnight and into the morning at least. Investigators still have a lot of work ahead of them. In any investigation, it can take several hours to place evidence markers, talk to the witnesses that we need to, and this is going to take that even a step further with how many people were impacted by this tonight and just the magnitude of this incident out here. I also want to talk more about the reaction starting to pour in across the community this evening. A lot of people that have been affected by this, including the children involved, families involved, local leaders that have lived here throughout their lives as well, and have spoken out on violent incidents like this. So first, I want you to hear from the mayor of Stockton as well as the San Joaquin County District.
Now, hold on really quick. Do you see how massive, you got police strewn across the street, right? Or like strewn all the way down the street. Okay, you see the Dairy Queen down in the bottom right-hand corner, right? But then you see all of these cops, all down here. Why? Right? Wouldn't it just be more of a contained situation unless there was a firefight that happened throughout the street, right? Going down the street. They just were running after people and just, pew, pew, pew. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. This is just strange. And the fact that they're not giving us much information is not making the situation any better either. What's up, Rook? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for being a member for over 2 years. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Rook. So sad. Praying for the little ones and their families. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm hoping everybody had a really great Thanksgiving as well. It's just really sad that the people of Stockton, that there are people out here, families that are just going to be absolutely devastated right now about all of this, right? This is the holiday weekend, right? This is supposed to be a time we should be together with our families and being thankful for the air in our lungs, not this stuff, right? But if you notice, this is very interesting, right? Like this crime scene, whatever happened for a while outside of this banquet hall near this Dairy Queen, right? So this is some very, very interesting stuff. I'm going to let them cook.
Attorney.
This is Thanksgiving weekend. This is when families come together, celebrate, share memories,
No doubt.
give each other love. And unfortunately tonight, heaven is a little bigger with the individuals, children and adults that unfortunately did not make it.
We also know that the governor has been briefed on this incident. State leaders as well. And another local leader here in Stockton that has spoken out about this tonight. We are also hearing from Stockton's Vice Mayor.
Okay, we've already heard that. Okay. And of course, you know, like I said, of course they're going to say their thoughts and prayers. Of course they're going to sit there and say we're shocked. We can't believe all this that happened. Blah blah blah. And yes, I get that. I absolutely get it. But at the same time, there's got to be some sort of quick resolution to the situation. And if the streets are already talking, okay, if the streets are already out here talking and saying, oh, wait a second, it's a gang, these are gangs, and it's this person and that person and this, that, and the third, and they're able to do all the math. I'm hoping that they're reaching out to police and letting the police know what they know, right? Because sure, somebody said, you don't know nothing about Stockton. No, I don't. I don't live in Stockton, bruh. Okay, I don't live out there. But one thing is for sure, we hear these kinds and we see these types of tragedies every single day in every neck of every person's woods, okay? It's absolutely insane. And one thing I do know, even though I may not know anything about Stockton and how the Stockton streets work, I do know that when something like this happens and you might be holding information that could unearth or get that person or persons detained or arrested quickly, I say go. The right thing to do is go to the local PD and tell them what's going on. Okay? Period. Straight up. Contact local authorities. Let them know what you know. If this is street beef, then say it. Connect the dots and explain it to 5-0 so that they understand it very, very well. It could very well be that this is all street beef. The streets are already talking. The internet is already buzzing, saying that there are gangs and there is some street beef going on. And there was one particular person at this particular party. And then, of course, all hell broke loose. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know all the facts, but I'm assuming if that fact is true about this rapper guy that was, gang member type thing, and he was at this birthday party, I'm sure he was at a birthday party with other guys in his gang. And then somebody just, an idiot, some monster or monsters decided to show up and open fire on a bunch of kids and families celebrating a birthday. That's insane. Like I said, if the streets are already talking and saying all this stuff, they need to reach out to 5-0 and let 5-0 know what's going down. Let them be savvy. Okay? Get them savvy to what the hell's going on and hopefully bring them straight up to justice as soon as possible, right? But guys, this is what we have so far. Obviously, there's going to be more information developing, I'm sure, here in the near future. But like for right now, this is what we have, right? Of course, when we find out more information, I'll be back on to chop it up with you guys and let you know what's going on. But honestly, it's getting late. I wanted to get up here and give you guys this information. We need to find a way to stop this chaos from happening. I know I say that all the time, but that is the damn truth. Okay, I'm really sick and tired of us hearing from our elected officials saying thoughts and prayers rather than going, okay, we are going to figure out some new things to stop this stuff from happening. You have street beef going on in malls. You have street beef going on in malls. That's what happened in that Black Friday event that happened last night at the mall, right? Some people got in their fees. They start blasting. Now you have this other situation, right? A little child's birthday party, and some buttholes decide to pull up and start blasting. And now those mother lovers are out on the lam. This is all in Cali, by the way. So something needs to happen very, very soon. And if it is over a diss track, that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because a guy was able to write a poem about you over a beat. Think about that for a second. Put that in your bean. Put that bee in your bonnet for a second, y'all. If that's the case, and all this street beef happened because of a diss track, and the diss track, if you really think about it, is a guy went into a room, was thinking about that guy, pulled out a piece of paper and a pen and wrote a poem about him, and then put that poem on a beat. Think about that. Do you realize how dumb that is and how ridiculous that is? So you are trying to take a man out and take other people that he loves, and innocent lives have nothing to do with that alleged track. You're going to take those people out solely because he wrote a poem on a beat about how maybe you smell funny or something stupid? Real talk, think about that, guys. Come on, man. Think about that. Like, when any time that there's some sort of rap beef, right? What are they doing? They're writing poems. They're writing little couplets rhythmically on top of a beat. I'm not knocking rap. I love rap. But I'm just saying, if you really think about it, it's ridiculous. And now street beef. If that's the case. Okay? If that's the case. But like I said, very wild stuff. All right? Whether or not it's over a diss track or not, this is what the streets are saying. This is what the rumor mill is going on and rumor milling. I don't know the origin story. Okay? What I do give a damn about is getting whoever did this, the person or the people who did this, to justice as quickly as possible. Because the damage is done. It's crazy. Children, guys. Children at a birthday party. That's a new one for me. Like, I feel like that's something you see like in a movie. You know what I mean? Like a Menace to Society or Boys of the Hood type of thing. You know, it's in a movie. It's a fabrication. You don't think that kind of stuff would ever be true. And lo and behold, we're seeing that now. Again, there has got to be a change in how we look at these situations. And we got to find a way, instead of us out here saying thoughts and prayers, yes, we still say that, of course. That's important. But what I mean is, instead of us just saying thoughts and prayers on to the next tragedy, we're actually trying to figure out what the hell we can do to stop this ish from happening ever again. That's it. We got to figure something out here, y'all. What's sad about it is that it's not going to be our elected officials that are going to be doing a damn thing. It's up to us as people. That's the hard reality of it right there, guys. Real talk. It's going to have to be the people that are going to have to lead when it comes to that. Ain't that something? Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Really means a lot. Stay tuned. Of course, if we have some updates, I'll be letting you guys know what's going on here very, very, very soon. Okay? Of course, I'm thinking about all the families out there for sure. But hopefully that whoever did this is brought to justice as soon as possible. This is absolutely insane. And of course, if we get more information about the victims, their names and all that, and of course, when we get an ID of the actual assailant or the assailants, I will be right here to break that news for you guys as soon as that stuff comes out. All right, guys? So please do me a favor, all right? Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. Make sure you are following me on those other platforms, please, and thank you. Of course, subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my second and third channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Subscribe over there as well to those other channels. Hit that notification bell on all those platforms. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. All right. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. All right, y'all. Much love to you guys. Stay safe out there. Enjoy that Thanksgiving turkey sandwich that I'm sure you're going to be making tomorrow morning. Okay? And I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Stay safe out there. Happy holidays. Talk to you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.